Throughout the post-election period, ex-President Trump was told repeatedly by his campaign advisors, government officials, and others there was no evidence to support his claims of election fraud. Even since our last hearing, the Select Committee has obtained testimony from new witnesses who've come forward to tell us about their conversations with ex-President Trump on this topic. Here is one of his senior advisors, Hope Hicks.
Seeing evidence of fraud on a scale that would have impacted the outcome of the election, and I was becoming increasingly concerned that we were damaging his legacy.
What did the president say in response to what you just described?
He said something along the lines of, nobody will care about my legacy if I lose. So that won't matter. The only thing that matters is winning.
Despite all that, he continued to purposely and maliciously make false claims, sometimes within a day of being told that a particular claim was false and unsupported by the evidence.
Travelers on a plane going to Hawaii had a sudden mid-air scare yesterday when this jet hit dangerous turbulence. 36 people on a Hawaiian Airlines flight from Phoenix to Honolulu were hurt. As Carter Evans shows us, everybody was caught by surprise on this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention on board. Do we have any trained medical personnel?
That plea for help from flight attendants just moments after a terrorizing ordeal on board Hawaiian Airlines Flight 35.
My life flashed before my eyes. I was scared.
The plane hit severe turbulence, which sent some passengers flying out of their seats.
The plane shook and then it went into a sudden drop.
Kaylee Reyes said her mom had just sat down after using the restroom when the turbulence started.
She hit the ceiling and she hit the floor.
Photos show damage to the inside cabin with overhead panels missing, a cracked ceiling, and debris thrown across the floor.
We did see patients with head injuries. At least one, I believe, was for a time rendered unconscious.
Paramedics treated 36 people who were injured on the flight, ranging from 14 months old to adults, 11 of them in serious condition. The FAA is investigating the incident. National Weather Service meteorologists said the plane may have flown into a thunderstorm, and it could have caused the turbulence. Hawaiian Airlines said it's working with officials in the investigation.
The seatbelt siren was on at the time that the incident occurred. There was no warning of this particular patch of air at that altitude was in any way dangerous. It caught everybody by surprise.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Carter Evans.
Ooh, never good when even the crew is caught by surprise, but it just seems like it can hit at any time without warning. That is what's so frightening.
It is the scariest thing. Yeah.
You know, guys, when the turbulence gets that bad, you wonder, how does a plane stay in the air?
Right. Yeah.
But it does.
It does. It is a wonder to fly. I have ignored that seatbelt sign, but you should not.
Too.
Definitely should not.
Breaking news from Capitol Hill. New information about who may be subject to criminal referrals from the January 6th committee. Besides Donald Trump, I want to bring back Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitale. Ali, what have you found out now?
Yeah, Jose, in just the last few minutes, we can tell you that among the criminal referrals that we may see unveiled from the January 6th committee today, some could be focused on John Eastman, the Trump-allied lawyer who was at the center of things like the false electors scheme, as well as pressure campaigns on the former vice president to overturn the election results. This is according to a dress rehearsal that we overheard yesterday here on the Capitol complex, and then two additional sources familiar with the committee's deliberations confirming to me and my colleagues Kate Santeles and Haley Talbot in just the last few minutes their intention to move forward with these criminal referrals against John Eastman to the Department of Justice. Now, the same caveats apply here as to the referrals that we've reported on for former President Donald Trump, which is to say they'll be unveiled here in front of the committee today and that they don't actually carry any legal weight behind them. Nevertheless,
this is a small, quiet town. Nothing like this has happened around here. Glenda Farrell is still reeling from learning the tragic details of what was going on in the small white home next door. Around 10:45 Friday night, Arkansas State Police say a 6-year-old boy's body was found inside of this home in Murrow, Arkansas. The investigation shows the boy died from injuries he sustained in the home 3 months ago. Tonight, his mother, 28-year-old Ashley Rowland, is locked up in the Lee County Jail and charged with capital murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. The mother's boyfriend, 33-year-old Nathan Bridges, facing those same charges.
Sometimes you'd see kids outside playing, but they really kept to themselves. You know, you'd see them coming and going, but really nothing to be concerning that would make you think anything of that magnitude was going on.
The state medical examiner will determine the exact cause of death. Police also investigating burns to another 6-year-old girl who lived in the same home, who's being treated at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in Memphis. Devastating details that are leaving this town of around 200 people with a lot of questions.
It's devastated because, I mean, it's just out of nowhere. I mean, right here in Christmas time, it's surreal.
I have no idea how they did that. I had a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
We reached out to the Lee County Sheriff's Office to see if we could get any answers to those questions, and they tell us it will be Monday before we can hopefully bring those to you. In the Medical District, I'm Walter Murphy, Action News 5.
Thousands of migrants are crossing into El Paso, Texas each day. So many, in fact, that the city's mayor has declared a state of emergency. The scheduled end of a pandemic-era policy called Title 42 this week could make things even worse. Omar Villafranca is in El Paso for us. Omar, good morning. It's cold there.
Good morning. We are just outside the bus depot here in El Paso. It is below freezing and migrants are sleeping outside waiting for their bus. And this is exactly what local officials did not want to happen. That's why they've been pleading with state and federal officials for help, saying that they do not have the infrastructure to deal with this influx of migrants. And they are saying if they don't get emergency help, more people will be left out in the cold.
From wall to wall, hundreds of people crammed together at the Border Patrol Processing Center in El Paso, Texas. Taken by Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, shows the extreme conditions inside a room meant for 100 people, now housing more than 500.
What I saw shocked me, and I wanted to share that with the world.
The pandemic-era policy, known as Title 42, allows for the immediate expulsion of migrants over COVID concerns. And while many Republicans have pushed back against any COVID-related policies, they've fought hard to keep Title 42 in place. 19 Republican-led states went to court to challenge Wednesday's expiration date, but lost.
On Wednesday, our numbers will go from 2,500 to 4,000, 5,000, or maybe 6,000.
The desperate scene has spilled into downtown El Paso. Shelters are at capacity, and city blocks are lined with huddled masses. More than 1,000 people are estimated to be sleeping outside in sub-freezing temperatures. Sebastian is a social worker from Colombia. He says he received death threats from gang members and was told by authorities that they couldn't guarantee his family's protection. So he fled with his wife and 11-month-old daughter.
He
says he planned to research the U.S. asylum process, but had to leave immediately for their safety. The Biden administration has been scrambling for solutions.
They have to have a policy of an early pathway to asylum through our bridges. And if they don't follow that pathway, they need to go back.
El Paso is seeing a nearly 300% increase in migrant crossings compared to last year, and that has a ripple effect not only here in the state, but in other cities outside of Texas. New York's mayor just said they may have to cut some funding to city programs to deal with the fact that they may be getting about 1,000 migrants a week. Tony?
Omar, thank you very much.
So two of the world's largest and most dangerous cartels already making billions of dollars smuggling people across the southern border, not to mention the drugs that come with them. They see an even bigger payday once the Title 42 border policy expires in 48 hours. Rich Edson on that reports the news in Washington, D.C. Rich, hello.
Hey, good morning, Bill. Cartels control significant stretches along the southern border, smuggling migrants and drugs into the United States. With Title 42 ending soon, it allows certain migrants to be expelled at the border. When that expires, former federal officials and current ones tell us that there's going to be a situation where you've got a number of cartels bringing migrants across the border in one area. That's taking resources away from border officials, allowing drugs to be smuggled in other parts of the border. Congressional aides say once Title 42 ends, the administration is expecting up to 15,000 migrant crossings a day. That's around double the rate over the last couple of years. The DEA has said most illegal drugs come across hidden in bulk loads on trucks driving through legal border crossings. The White House maintains it's working to confront this expected surge and the cartels that would exploit it, specifically with the DEA focusing on the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel.
I'm concerned about the increase in illegal migration. I'm concerned with human smuggling. I'm concerned with drug smuggling. The DEA has taken an approach where they have established 2 counter-threat teams. This is the kind of approach you take to organizations that pose a national security threat. We're using intelligence, we are using cyber means, we are using informants, we're using data to map the network and then attack it at all points along the supply chain.
With the end of Title 42, Texas state law enforcement says they're preparing for an increase in drug smuggling, especially fentanyl and methamphetamine. Bill, back to you.
Rich, thanks. Rich Edson in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Dana.